how Instagram is seen on
Oh, I thought she was having a
on
glitch.
Instagram. That's how it's seen on Instagram. So,
I thought she was having a glitch with the show.
oh no, that's how it was on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Now that being said, because I got some new, toys, if you will, new options, I consider this my close up, Miss DeVille. Now, I know a lot of you people on the panel don't like it, which is fine. Okay. However, if you do want your close up, right, just be like, put the camera on me, and I got you. All right. Best believe with this beard, I'm gonna be doing some close ups. Uh, but now H Town, I appreciate you coming on the show. I did attendance on Tuesday. You were you were nowhere to be seen. It was unexcused, as Carly would say, unexcused absence. So that being said, I want you to lead off the show tonight. And what's your thoughts on the changes that was made? What you got?
Like you said, it's a business. So it being a business is always gonna be the foremost. It's gonna be up at the top of the list to get done is the business decision. Um, Unfortunately for us Giant fans, we have we have went through seasons of disappointment, seasons of the same situation. You know, a roster that might look competitive. Some coaches that might come in that with the new talent, pickups, receivers, however it may have been. When Neighbors came in the league, we were excited, and he showed up. He earned his money. Thibodeau still, he's solid, but he hasn't given us as much as he should. But he's solid. Burns has been definitely the move that the organization, one of the right moves. Um, for those players that left us, whether they didn't want to be with us no more or they wanted to stay, whichever one was the case, it's clear that players go elsewhere and they produce. Some people say, you know, those players weren't good to begin with, or, that the Giants aren't no good. But it's clear that we understand that coaching has a lot to do with production on the field. It just isn't about talent. It isn't about the first overall pick. It's about how are you going to put your players in best positions? How are you going to treat it on and off the field? What are you expecting? How can you elevate your talent and develop your talent, maximize a roster? And for a coach in any organization, the first thing they should do and what they're there to do is to be able to make players better. Any coach on the staff, any head coach, any coordinator, any assistant coach, their job and their priority should be to make players better, make the players better, make the roster better, make whatever position they're in when you first get them in the building, they should have some type of elevation. When their ratings on Madden, for those that play Madden, their ratings on Madden should go up. But unfortunately, for the past summers and winters, as a Giant fan, we have not seen anybody's ratings go up. And Burns, he's showing out, but that's just Burns being Burns. That's just him being a dog and him not giving up, no matter what situation he's been going through. He ain't been giving up, and he's been showing, and he's been really a good example for a team, a young team. He's a great example of how to give full effort on the field, how to be professional. And unfortunately, we weren't able to take advantage of his abilities or even other players' abilities throughout these past seasons. And now Dable's gone, and hopefully Whoever comes in has competent is a competent coach with a staff. Because I'm not saying maybe Dayball could have been a good head coach. Maybe his staff just wasn't good. But in my opinion, he was possibly a better offensive coordinator than he was a head coach.
Well,
And
I
that's
mean,
my I feel that he's the better offensive coordinator than the head coach. And that's just
um,
why he had to go.
I think what I want to ask the panel now, and thank you so much for that, H Town.
Yes, sir.
What like where do we go from here? I didn't ask that question Tuesday. I don't think I did. But I think like I mean, obviously the question is we get a new coach. That's a given, right? But that's not until the end of the season. Okay, and I'm not talking about the end of the season. I'm talking about um I'm talking about, this week, next week. I don't want to sit here and come into the end of next week and we start talking about the draft again. So my question to I guess Corbin, we'll start with you. Where do we go from here? And I'll give you a minute. What you got?
I mean, we go up. There's no other way to put it. I mean, we can't go down. We're already as bad can be. The only way we go here is up. I mean,
Right.
we're gonna see a fun Giants team this Sunday. I truly believe it's gonna be a fun Giants team. You're gonna have Jameis Winston throwing the ball from God
Hold on,
knows
hold on one
where.
sec. Loops. Stop shaking your head. Stop waving your finger. You ain't Mookie Matumbo. You ain't Mookie Matumbo. Go ahead, Corbin.
It's gonna be a fun Sunday. We're gonna see Jameis Winston throw like 4 interceptions, 5 touchdowns. We know what to expect. We're not gonna be surprised by what's happening. We're gonna see Jalen Hyatt get a lot more targets. We're gonna see Isaiah Hodgins back. It's a great move to bring him back. I think it's gonna be a fun Sunday. I think it's gonna be a fun Sunday. I think it's gonna be a fun rest of the year.
Lamar, man, I appreciate you coming in the comments, bro. Nate Shasansky, I think that's our new offensive coordinator. He is the passing game coordinator uh, for the Los Angeles Rams. What do you think about him? Oh, as a coach. I think he's asking as a coach. My bad. My bad. I thought that was the tight ends coach. I forgot his name. Um, Mark G. Where do we go from here?
Well, ever since Dayball got fired, I feel like it's like an up and down situation. Number one, you let Jordan Humphrey go to the Broncos, but we had him for at least what a couple of months, and he just couldn't come. He just couldn't come. He just like put him in the 53. Hyatt hasn't been doing nothing. He's just been warming up the bench. And then this is the thing we've been cursed for years about this. It's like be you hold on to people, they go somewhere else and they produce, and it's like the same old giant situation all over again.
Right.
And 2 days ago, I went to see Brian Burns meet and greet. He's mad cool.
Oh yeah. Oh you could tell that. I noticed that when I saw him at what do you call it, spring training. Um, so Danny, where we go from here, man?
I mean, these next few games are gonna show what Mike Kafka is all about. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've been bashing him as an offensive coordinator. Now he's our head coach, interim head coach. These last few games, next few games, the rest of the season is gonna show what he's all about. You know what I'm saying? It's like a put up. It's like a put up or shut up. You know. So we're gonna find out what he's all about. Hopefully, he'll win us some games. And who knows? I'm not saying it's gonna happen. Maybe he becomes the the permanent head coach. Who knows? I'm not saying it's gonna happen,
Right.
but
Right.
who knows? But these last few games are gonna show what he's all about. Hopefully, we get some W's. and I'm glad with Hodges is back. Hopefully, we get it rolling. You know.
Sully, what say you?
Man, look, with this change, with Kafka's short time left in this season, like Danny said, man, hopefully we get some wins out of it. Something for us to be a little excited about. It would be great if we could go on a 7 game win streak and end the season 9-8. You know, um, would that be grounds for keeping Kafka? I don't know. Um, I'm hopeful that we do get some production, maybe a couple of wins. I would like to be optimistic and say we'll win out. Um, but as far as coaching, I mean, it to me it's somewhat of a distraction now. Because now the squad has to figure out, okay, do we buy into now Kafka's ideology, and then 6 months, 7 months from now, are we going to be dealing with a new head coach, new coordinator, and things of that nature? So, I mean, right now we're on a roller coaster ride. I'm here for it. I just hope, like I said, we get some W's out of this. And when dust settles, hopefully we we're able to become an improved team and actually be relevant, and not have next week talk about the draft, even though, I mean, hell, we already kind of started to talk about the draft because we're talking about who our next coach is going to be.
Right. Well, right. Well, we haven't just had that conversation yet, to be honest. We're just having an introduction of basically where do we come from here. And that being said, Daryl, what say you?
Where we go from here?
Yeah, man.
Well, let's see. We're 8 weeks in. 9.
Something like that.
10. 10.
Oh no, 10. Yeah. We're week 10 right now. Yeah.
Okay, so check this out. It's week 10. It's an audition. So that's what he got. He got an audition
Mm-hmm.
to get the head. If he win half of them games, he will be our next head coach. If he shows improvement within the next eight weeks, no more fourth quarter blown leads. If he cleans up everything that was done without the season, he will be our next head coach.
You think so?
That's all I'm saying. Is nigga, don't be surprised, bro.
I'm telling you, Sneaky, if this man comes in and cleans up everything that Brian Dable was having his flaws at, he will be our next head coach. It will be hard for them to move on from Mike Kafka after the same thing that got Brian Dable fired, and he turns around and cleans it up, and the players play a whole lot better, especially in the fourth quarter. And he's already talked to Shane Bowen about cleaning up that defense. See, we all fail to realize that Brian Dable, he coached scared anyway. That's why he just coached scared. So everything that you seen happen on defense is about to change, the philosophy and everything.
Mm.
And to your point,
It's gonna get a whole.
Yeah.
That defense is about to get a whole lot more aggressive.
yeah,
Mike Kafka ain't going for that. You got to remember, Mike Kafka come from Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, he was asked that question, what makes a good coach?
Yeah.
And, I was really, I wasn't trying to read between the lines, but sometimes you can't help but
Read
read
between the
between the
lines.
lines. And look, it's all a business. And again, I want to take a step back from what I just said, because when Kafka addressed the team, first thing he said was, "Hey, Coach Dable, is the reason why a bunch of us are in this locker room right now. So the fact that he gave him his, his due, his kudos, um, does speak a lot about the gentleman. And at the same time, he knows now he has to take the reins.
Yeah.
And you,
And I'm
I
That
really,
think
new
they go.
sheriff in town mentality.
I
yeah,
think
but,
they gonna play for him. I think they
but
really gonna play for him.
it's true what y'all saying because one thing in the organization, it was said that Dayball was a player's coach. Players were drawn towards his coaching style and the way that he had relationships with them.
mhm,
But everybody in the organization loves Kafka, and it's not talked about enough. Like Kafka was really supposed to be a head coach elsewhere multiple times.
right,
He got
He
interviewed. He
was
got
he
interviewed
was
a
on
lot more places.
yeah, he was on the top of the list at multiple organizations for them to make him the head coach. And I believe that Kafka is a humble guy. He knows what he's doing. He's a humble guy. I don't believe the offense was the issue because of him. I believe Dayball kind of stepped in a lot and stepped on his toes a lot. Didn't allow him to do it the way he wanted to. And
yeah,
He
Kafka,
put he put Jackson Dart in danger to save his job.
yeah, there you go. And
Mm-hmm.
You
that
got
part
you
yeah,
got four you got four incidents where this man was in the
was the
it
concussion
was in the
protocol.
blue tent.
Right, right.
This
Oh,
And that
man
was
had
supposed
been
to
and
happen.
served the
starting.
his
He's
served the
only
his
what?
watch.
That was only his sixth start, fifth start, and
Right,
he was in
right,
that bitch for four times.
right, right.
And
And
if
And served
He
his
what?
put
watch.
him in home. Wait, listen, you ain't gonna see all those design runs
Nah,
when he come back.
not at
You ain't
all.
finna
Mm-mm.
you finna see him in the pocket.
But see, it shows you a lot when he doesn't even think about Russell. Kafka, he didn't even look in Russell's direction because
Hell
Kafka
no,
already
he ain't even
knew.
think twice.
Look.
Nah,
He already knew what time it was. If it was
he
up to
said
Yep.
Kafka,
he said it's
I
Jameis time,
believe
baby.
honestly, I
yeah.
believe if Kafka had, if he had some type of say, I believe that Jackson Dart would have not have started as soon as he did, and Jameis Winston would have started over Russell. Russell would have never started. I believe Jameis was Kafka's guy. Kafka would have had Jameis under the center and allowed Dart to kind of, ease in, maybe game 6, game 7, depending on, the win-loss column. But
Mhm.
like you said, Dayball was trying to save his job, and he ended up having this kid that's a rookie that didn't play nothing but
He was
five,
being
six
he was being
games.
selfish. He was being selfish, man.
And but see, that's his arrogance. That's the arrogance that Dayball had, and he never earned it. He never earned a right to be arrogant because whatever happened with that kid at Buffalo and that quarterback they got up there, it can't be said that Dayball turned him into that because Dayball had that dude looking like a turnover machine. That dude was turning the ball over at a
Well,
ridiculous amount.
not necessarily. I mean, if we were to look at the numbers, I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, the because I think we did it a couple weeks ago, and I'll just push back a little bit, H Town. I think, and I will defend Dable on this. That I think he only had double digits maybe once, and I know he had double digits the year that Dable was gone. He wasn't on the team. Now, I'm not saying that today's success of Allen is due to Dable. That we can't say, right? Um, but I will say from his rookie year before Dable left, you did notice some increase in his touchdown production, his completions percentage, and interceptions. I think there was one year where he had like 25 and 10, I think 25-15, I think. And that's not me looking at the stat line.
Well,
But
for Dayball to be a whisperer of quarterbacks,
right.
it's hard to see that when he had so much opportunity to show and prove that
Hmm.
because Daniel Jones went to the Vikings and he learned a lot over there. The coach say, "Hey man, that's our guy. Let's go ahead and bring him in," because the coach said, "I know what I need to do with this guy. I need to max protect. We're gonna run the ball and we're gonna give him opportunities to make plays with a good O line and some decent receiver play."
Mhm.
And Jones is looking like a completely different player. When we had that playoff run occurred because Dayball chose to have max protection. And we had a running back that was able to take that load and stress off of that. And
Right.
it worked. And it was more of a scheme to win games, not scheme to try to make myself look like the best coach on earth. And I think that's what Dayball found himself trying to do. I'm trying to be the 300-400 yard offense every game through the air. Like I got Patrick, my homie Jordan back there. And that's why he continued to fail.
Well,
And
let
you see with Dart, I mean, he put Dart in all types of harm.
you know what, and I think maybe I'll be the Dable defender.
Oh no, here we go.
Well, I'm hold on, Daryl. Let me finish my case here. Um, because the man's not here to defend himself. Okay. Um, but what I'll say is this, right? I don't know. Now, I've never been in a position to where they said, "Hey, you mess up one more time, you're gone," right? But I've been in a situation where they're like, "Hey, we're giving you, a year, um, and if you're not
Probation, like a
successful, this,
probation.
yeah, like a probationary. I was under a probationary period, for my job. Now, and let's not get it twisted, right? If you're put in a situation to where your job is on the line, hold on, let me do this real quick. Hold on, I want my TV time. Hold on, where we at?
You want the camera on you?
Yeah. I want my
Here we
TV.
go. Here we go.
Uh, so if I know my job is on the line, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna put every stop, I'm gonna open up every can of whoop, whatever, whoop ass. I'm gonna be determined. I'm gonna be focused. I'm gonna do what I need to do to be successful. Now, at the same time, I know what I would do and what coach would do a little different. But let's not forget when Gettleman, right, as his last year's GM, what did he do? What did he do? He opened up the checkbook. His last year there, we spent hella kind of money
But it's a
on a
cap
tight
hell.
end that left Minnesota that came to us with Rudolph, and then the whole Galladay experiment. Okay,
Oh Lord.
he spent
Crashed
so
and
much,
burned.
pretty much,
Yep.
right? He
Yep.
he he was like, well, if I'm gonna go out, I'm going out a blazing glory. So I really don't blame Coach in doing. Oh my God, TP, you bet. I'm gonna put the link out just for you. Talking about sad violin music. Well, I mean, look. You know what? And that's fine. I'll take that on the chin because, like I said, I'll defend Dable because he's not here now. Am I? Look, is it time for us to move on? Yes. Am I happy that he's gone? On a professional level, yes, I am. I'm satisfied. KGB Rounders, good movie. I'm satisfied that we've made the choice to move on. But on a personal level, look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. It stings. It hurts. I like the guy. Don't fault me because I like the guy. You know. And a matter of fact, I think look. I'm gonna tell the story now. I'm gonna take a little more TV time if y'all don't mind. Okay, last year, not this last uh Dallas game, but the one before that, I had my phone and I got my little microphone in there and I got my mic and I'm trying to get everybody whatever. The bottom piece that connects to my phone fell off and like went in like over because I'm in the dugout. Let me back up. So I'm in the little dugout thing, the walkway. I'm hanging over the walkway or the little railing to where the players come out. Okay. And like I said, the piece to my microphone falls. Somebody picks it. And I'm like, ain't this a motherfucker? Because I saw Coach coming. What did Coach do? He immediately went to it, grabbed it, and gave it to me. He's about to play the Dallas Cowboys on a Thanksgiving day. But he had the compassion, I'll say compassion, the human, I guess, the human respect for a fan to get the little device that I needed and hand it back to me. And I'm like, you know what? It took maybe 10, 15 seconds, if that, right? But because of that told me what I needed to know about Coach. Now the question is, did that put wins on the field or wins in the column? No. And that is why he was ultimately let go. So with that, I yield back.
So he got the
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
humanitarian award. He gets the humanitarian of the year award. But unfortunately, as a head coach, he got the dumpster juice award.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm
Pretty
sorry. I had
much.
to.
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
TP.
Yo,
I'm sorry. I had to
Hold on,
sit
Daryl. Hold
there.
on. Go ahead, TP. I
I'm
I
sorry,
I called
y'all.
I called TP up here, so
I'm sorry. I had to sit there and listen to that
oh, I was about to
garbage.
get in them, TP. I was about to get in
here
them,
we go.
TP.
That was a bunch of baloney.
I was
Ain't
about to
no,
give it to him.
The
that got
violin
nothing.
is playing.
The violin is playing. We don't want to. We don't care about any of that. I mean, yes, okay, that was cute. Whoop de doo, and that's what I said last stream.
He said,
I said, I said, Sneaky's fandom was completely pouring out because that has nothing to do with the product that is on his field. And
and
you
I
know
and
what?
I, and I
Another,
said
I
that.
don't.
I said that. Go
and
ahead.
this is the thing. But this is the thing, though. This is what I don't understand when I hear people try to defend Dable is why do people always try to word it like he didn't have ample opportunities? He had so much and so many different times to do something different and to elevate this team. He just never took advantage of any of them.
Mhm.
And for that, that is the reason why I can't feel bad. You let your ego get in the way, and then that's why we had to move on.
I
I got a
think.
question. I got a
Go ahead.
question real quick, Sneaky.
He,
They-
So for everybody, isn't it weird that Dayball was at the Bills, right? And they were successful. And Leslie Frazier was the defensive coordinator. Don't you think it's kind of odd that he never thought about bringing him over to the Giants? Or did Leslie never wanted to come to the Giants to be, teamed up with Dayball? Because we already know what happened
So tired
between
of hearing
Wink
about the
and
Bills.
Dayball. But I'm
We
just saying, for the point of the fact that a character issue, because him and Wink had such a fallout, right? And Wink has been
so
a
I'm glad you
stand-up
brought that
guy,
up.
and he's been a stand-up guy all his career. Every locker room loved him, every roster loved him. Nobody has nothing bad to say about Wink. And then Wink
it
gets
wasn't a
with
weak problem. It was a
Well, I
Dabo
mean
yeah,
problem.
that's my point.
So
My
hold on,
point is
hold on,
that
hold on.
Leslie didn't want to. He didn't. It didn't seem strange that Leslie worked with this man elsewhere and had success elsewhere, but Mr. Frazier didn't want to come and be a part of the Giants organization. You see what I'm getting at? It's because Leslie already knew what type of man he was. He
Okay.
already knew what
right,
type of coach he is, and he
and
didn't
I'm
want to get
glad
involved
you
with that.
and I'm glad you brought that up too, because there's a rumor that's coming out now that part of the reason why Dayball got fired is he was pulling the same crap that he did to Wink to Kafka and Bowen. And
Why?
No
and it was
surprise.
making it a hostile environment, you know what I'm saying, to where Shane got
You
on
guys
the
are liars.
headset to listen.
And that's what I know. That's when we talk about the personality of Coach Dable. I mean, from my experience, and I don't. That's why I don't like talking about the Bills because I only like talking about what he was for the Giants. My experience is, for the most part, what he's shown us to be is cowardice ways. Like he's shown us to be a guy who hasn't taken full responsibility, talk behind coaches' backs, throw them in the forefront. Even y'all mentioned it earlier when y'all talked about he was willing to sacrifice the health of his quarterback for the safety of his job or for him to look better. It's just like, yo, this is not the leader of men that I want to be as my head coach.
Just because I'm
Yep.
showing love, just because I'm
That's
showing love to my coach. Look, cue to Kenny G. I see
that's
you, man.
exactly what
I,
I said, bro. That's
so
exactly what I said.
okay,
That's
okay.
exactly what I said, TP. He's
Now,
not a good leader of men, and he puts other people in jeopardy for his own job.
And
You don't
he
need a
put our
leader
future
like that.
quarterback in
And I got one
jeopardy.
more thing to say.
all right, go
I
ahead.
want TV time though on this one.
Oh shoot, okay.
Oh, okay. This I gotta hear.
Hold on, where you at
Now,
now?
Mark said
Hold on.
Mark was talking about the players that was brought here and some
Wait,
of the
wait, wait,
players
wait,
that.
wait. How you gonna do TV time, but it be an avatar?
Hey, listen.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Hey,
see your face for TV time, Daryl.
all right, don't play
All right.
games with me. Don't play games. Don't play games. I'm just only a smooth button away, baby. I'm just only a smooth button away. But anyway, Mark was talking about some of the players that we have on our team. Don't you think? I think we should be able to keep some of the players that y'all think we should get rid of, like a Banks and a Jalen Hyatt, because see, I don't think they was coached right. I don't think they was groomed
Mm,
the right way. I think Jalen Hyatt should stay at least a one more year because I think we should try him in the slot situation. You understand what I'm saying? And maybe somebody a different defensive coordinator comes in and could do something with Banks because he's a press man he's a press man cornerback. That's what his specialty was. So if we can get somebody in there with a defensive mind that can utilize Banks's strong abilities, I believe they will be able to work out for this football team. Now, y'all just sit back and think about that. We talk about all the time how our players goes off and just flourish. Now, maybe if now that we're getting a new head coach, maybe some of those players that we talk about now that should be gone, maybe they will flourish here.
You know what, Daryl? I would agree with you, but I'd have to disagree with you on the whole Banks aspect.
Yeah.
Now,
Things start
granted,
going really
yes,
wrong. Which, by the way, I think they've actually.
Sorry about that. Go
granted,
ahead.
yes. Banks was drafted for Wink's system, right? And granted, this defensive coordinator may not be using him well, but the coordinator has nothing to do with the countless times that Banks has given up on plays,
Yeah.
and that's unexcusable. That to
Facts.
me
It could
shows
have been
that to no,
the coaching.
hold on, Daryl, hold on. That to me shows he has no heart and no fight in him. If you go and you may get beat, right? But are you going to take the beating or are you going to swing back? And right now, he just taking the beating. He ain't even swinging back. He giving up on plays.
And
But what
it's so. Hold on. I got to say this too, real quick, because that what I just showed. I showed a little clip. I'm gonna show it here in a little bit too. They were talking about Banks and how he doesn't have fight, and this is, Sean O'Hare, Super Bowl champ, one of the, you know, uh, greatest linemen, or part of one of the greatest lineman bunches that I wish we had today. You know what I noticed about the Chicago game about Banks? And I mean, please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And matter of fact, hold on, let me get my TV time. His jersey was still white. It was still white. That tells me he don't even hit the ground. And them lazy ass arm tackles. Look, I like Banks. Look, this, you could call this tough love. You could call it what you want, but Banks is now a liability. He calls us
Pretty
first. He calls
much.
us too many penalties, right? too many first downs, and he made one play this whole season, and that was during San Diego. That's it. Them arm tackles gotta go. They gotta go. But
especially
Well, what
against
about
that
Jalen Hyatt? What about Jalen
Especially
Hyatt?
against that.
go ahead, Mark. We'll talk about Hyatt.
Especially we saw he didn't even make an effort against San Francisco when that running back scored that touchdown pass.
Yeah. Again, arm tackles. Come on
They
now.
ain't no arm, that was no arm tackle sneaky. He was just like he didn't want to. He didn't do nothing. He's just like
Giving up on the
just look
play.
at it. He just started running for the touchdown. What the hell?
I gave up on Banks when he gave up on that touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb last year. When he did that, I was
Oh
done.
yeah. Oh, the Thanksgiving
I
game.
was
Okay.
done. Not even no. This was at Giants.
Oh,
This
the first
before
game.
the
Okay. Oh, all
Thanksgiving
right. All
game
right.
came to MetLife, and I'm like,
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Shane,
Yeah.
Shane kind of defended him. Oh, he over pursued. He shouldn't have over pursued.
No, the final straw was the 49ers game. That was the final straw for
Oh,
me.
I'm telling you, for me, it
Thank
was
you,
the Dallas
Danny.
Cowboy game. Now,
That 49ers game told everything.
You
now,
want to know what's funny? Real
go
quick,
ahead,
I
go
guess
ahead,
I
go,
don't want
no,
to.
go ahead, TP.
What's funny is I just decided I'm here at work. I just decided to turn on the all 22 because I haven't looked at it yet. And
I got to
literally
get
we
that. I got to get
and,
that.
and literally we talking about Banks in the first two plays. He's getting cooked.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Bro, he's horrible, bro. He's horrible.
And now, and then because like I said, Daryl, we'll bring up Hyatt. I want to bring up Hyatt.
Yeah, because I really don't care too much about Banks anyway. I care about more about Hyatt than Banks.
And you know
But
what?
see, look,
Go
there's
ahead.
one thing to it. Is that we understand that Banks was getting pushed, 30 yards down the field on the block. He wasn't getting off of blocks. He wasn't physical. He wasn't even trying at times. But doesn't attitude reflect leadership?
Yeah, yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
attitude reflect, it's like a team. When you look at the
When you got
team,
a
it's like
soft cut
it,
defensive,
it just looks like a team that when a grandkid could be bad all day long. But as long as that grandparent is letting them do that, that grandchild is going to continue to do whatever it want to do because that grandchild know that there's no consequences or repercussions. And it just seems like this organization doesn't have that. They don't have that factor in them to put fear into the players, as in you need to get your shit together, or you're going to be gone. You need
You
to
know,
start producing or you're going to be gone.
I'll say this, and this is just my opinion about Banks. He is the true standard of that saying that you cannot lead a horse to water and make him drink.
Hmm.
I hear what you're saying. I hear the fact. I
sneaky.
hear that. I hear you say it could be coaching, which I'm sure coaching has its thing too, and there could be times where maybe because we don't know what accountability we have Banks, but let's just be real about Banks. The only reason why he's on the field right now is because of the injuries. That's the only reason why
True.
he's seeing the field right now. And I think with Banks, no matter how much you hold him accountable, I believe he's the type of player that's going to do what he want to do when he do it, and however he wants to do it. I don't think leadership can get to him. I think this is like another case of uh what was his name? Tony that we had, the KT. I think
Kadarius Tony.
Darius Tony.
Cantankerous phony.
I think this is just another case of that, but on the defensive side of the ball. Got a couple good games out of him, and then that's it. And I believe Banks is like that. If and you know what? This is who I would put. And I'm gonna put the camera back on me. This is who I would put the onus on. I would put it on Shane. Not because he drafted him, not because we moved up. Okay, and not because we gave up a 5th and a 7th in the same draft, because we have not developed depth to where we can keep him off the field unless maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Maybe he did put enough depth to where when he gets on the field, the shit's hitting the fan.
Well, let me
Hmm.
challenge that. Let me challenge that train of
Oh,
thought there,
please, yeah.
because I'm kind of in the middle of things, right? 'Cause especially when we talk about somebody like Deontay Banks. I think with Deontay Banks, it could be one or two things. Could it have been what I like what H Town was actually getting at was early in his career, I think we didn't, but not just with Banks, but with a few players. I don't think that we developed these guys the way they should have been so that we could actually see their full potential.
Mhm.
I think a lot of these
I
players
agree.
have a lot of these players to me when I watch them and when I think about, how they were introduced to the league, like for example, Deontay Banks rookie season had me thinking, okay, there's an upside. We weren't talking like this about Deontay Banks his rookie year. And so it's that aspect of it. Now, the other aspect of it, when we're talking about attitude, then that's when I'm like, okay, well, that is a draft eval thing because you should have an idea of a person's attitude when you're in that drafting process. So if that's the case, then most definitely I think that is a shame thing. But again, the culture that you built from the get-go, also I hold weight to that as to, the responsibility as to what things you end up involving to. So it's just kind of tricky for me. It's just like I don't, we will never know. We'll never kind of know what the woulda, coulda, shoulda, could have been.
Mhm.
All we know is right now what Banks is, and so that's that's the that's the hard part about dealing with the aftermath of not
When you
developing players.
Well, when you think of these players, put them in a different locker room, like the Steelers locker room, the Rams locker room, and see what the expectation is and what's going to actually occur.
Mhm.
Because these players that aren't producing and doing the type of stuff that Banks is doing, he's not going to see the field, even if there's injuries.
That's true.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, but again, what can you say that about rookie Deontay Banks?
Rookie Banks, he was trying to earn some money. So of course he gonna show his. It's like going on a date with that girl you've been trying to get with, and you finally on that date, and you showing her you the best man on earth. But as soon as you get them draws, you stop calling, and that's what happened.
Yeah, but
See,
hold on, H Town. You gotta admit though, on a rookie deal, you're gonna have to be in them draws for about 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, but
yeah,
You know,
he
But
was
see,
also
but now
up
look,
under.
sneaky to your point, 4 to 5 years. But that's not the standard with the Giants. The Giants they don't uphold that. They don't force that. It's nothing to be punished. There's no
well,
standard.
yeah.
So if you're not forcing it and you know that you're not being forced, you're gonna keep riding it until you could get away with it. And that's what's been going on.
Daryl, what you
Okay.
saying? Go ahead, Daryl.
No, no, no. He nailed it on the. He nailed it in the coffin.
Okay.
H Town did.
Keith, you got something?
Yeah, yeah. I've
Oh,
been I've been watching, listening to y'all talk, man. So I do believe it was time for Dable to go. You just gotta average out his time here. He had a bad tenor here. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Um, but Joe Shane, I give him some grace because every time Joe Shane has had a draft and they graded that draft was no lower than a B,
Mm,
no lower than a B. So that's how I look at him. After the draft, what did the analysts grade his draft as? Right? It
okay.
was either A minus, or B,
That's
and
a fair
every
argument. Yeah.
and everybody was happy. And it's on Brian DeBoer to coach these guys. And he
Now,
wasn't a
Keith,
good.
to,
facts.
to add to
He,
your what you're saying now about Shane. Now, I like what he did in the draft, but I also give him an A in free agency. He brought Burns over here. We
right,
got Debo. We got the dude from was it I can't think of his name right now. Shit. The other guy that's injured.
right. So they
Collins.
try to change Banks, Brian DeBoer, he wanted dogs. He wanted guys that were divas that had attitude, and that's exactly what you got. And to coach that kind of player, you got to be a certain type of coach. You know, Brian DeBoer is an emotional coach. You seen him on the sideline. You see him take over plays. This is what he does. I mean, you could tell by his demeanor who he is. All of us have that friend that is emotional, that acts like Brian DeBoer, and you know they got a trigger. You know, and that's who Brian DeBoer was. I think he overstayed his welcome. They gave him every opportunity they could. Um, to me, if I'm Shane, I'd have been let him go, buddy. If he's my friend or not, I don't care if y'all buddies, because if for you to trade up to get Jalen Hyatt and y'all not work him in the slot the way he was used in college, come on, man. That's just that doesn't make no sense, and that's why I feel like we can't let Jalen Hyatt go because we
No,
haven't really even seen his potential.
yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. Now,
We
Come
have
on.
not seen his potential.
now,
So,
TP. I
That's
want to,
what goes back to coaching.
I want to say
mhm.
something, TP. You were talking earlier about Banks and his rookie season. Um, for some reason, when you said that, I wrote down Banks' rookie season. It was a counterfeit. It was a fraud. It was a fake. And I say that because since Wink left, it just proves to me that he's a scheme guy. What we got in his rookie season was not what we got in 2024 or 2025. And it pains me to say that. It's just I
Well,
now okay. Now hold on, and let me just say this too, and I'll leave it at this. You know how coaches got to adapt and adjust, in everything, practice, games, seasons. At what point are we going to hold that player accountable for him to adjust his game to the coach? Because now, yeah, Banks, we've all said it. Banks' success depended on Wink being there because it was evident during his rookie season. But
So
now
so sneaky. That's what I'm trying.
coming with Cohen, yeah, we could. And I know I asked the question. I said, can the DC change his scheme to fit the player, but can the player fit the scheme? And if so, I haven't seen it in Banks. I'm
That's
just
what
being
I'm
well,
honest.
that's
saying. If
that's
we
my issue. That's my. Well, then that means we recognize the issue then, because it's the coach's job to scheme it together.
Well,
And
see,
so,
but I'm putting the onus on the player.
you
That's
can't
what I'm doing.
you can't
yeah,
in that situation.
right.
Why
You
not?
got to put because you have to put that player in that position to succeed.
Analogy
Yeah.
time. It's an analogy time. You know I love my analogies.
Hey,
Go ahead.
So I
sneaky.
gotta I
That's
gotta
what
hit
I'm
you with one.
saying. If we
Hold on,
got
Daryl. Hold on, Daryl. Let me get this one. Let me get this one off. Because when analogy pop in my head, it's like a light bulb go off. This is to me, it sounds just like this. If we were to say, hey, Shaq, prom Shaq, let's say Orlando Magic Shaq. No, better yet, Lakers Shaq, big boy Shaq.
Okay.
Hey man, what we want you to do is we want you to come over here and play point guard for us. Bring the ball up. We can't ask Shaq to not be him and to do out of his skill set.
I don't. Okay, to be fair, and I got nothing respect for your TP. I don't think that's a fair analogy. Only reason why, and I hear where you come from, and I see where you were going with that. I see it. Okay, but for me, it would be like making, for me to see the true analogy, what you're trying to get to, is making the Lakers Shaq like Kareem. Keep him at center, but now I want to see you do uh, what do you call it? A fadeaway.
So
Back.
the point still stands though. I
Right,
was
right, right,
being,
right. That's what I'm
you
trying.
know,
Because it's the same position. Because Shaq's the center. There's no way in hell he's
well,
gonna
no, I
be.
was being drastic so you
Oh,
could get
okay,
the
okay.
point. But yeah,
All right, I got
you're on it. You're on it. You're right. I
you.
mean, the point still remains. It's
Yeah,
just like you can't ask him to be
something
someone
he's
else,
not, something he's not.
something he's not. Exactly.
So that goes back to my point. If you got another DC in here, if you got another defensive coordinator in here, and then like Wink Martindale, don't you think he would flourish? If you got another defensive coordinator minded like Wink Martindale, do you think Banks would flourish in his system if he
So
had one
the
like?
the the hilarious thing that you said that, and I was gonna save it for later, but I might as well let it go now. I heard a while back that, and I don't know if you guys heard the same thing. Um, but the fact that had Kifka got the position, the head coaching job at the Saints, Wink would have been his defensive coordinator.
Mm.
Don't be surprised if Wink don't come back,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Don't
I
be
believe the same
surprised.
thing. I believe the same thing.
Don't
But
be
let me say
surprised.
this. I think it was Daryl. He spoke, and one of y'all was talking about it, and he was talking about Mike Kefka. This is his audition.
Yeah.
I do believe they're giving him a fair shot because
Oh yeah.
he was a hot commodity after 22. You
And
know what I'm saying?
was it before Brian Dabo was hired? Didn't Mike Kafka get the job interview from the Giants?
I ain't for
No,
sure, but I
no,
do know after
no.
22 he was getting he was a head coach candidate, and I think the Giants are going to give him a fair shot, and that's why they fired Brian DeBoer, or that's why they was willing to fire him, because they want to see what Mike Kefka got. I want to see what he got. I want to see the orbit motions. There ain't been no orbit motions from that first year. The plays look totally different than the first year of Brian DeBoer's tenure here at the Giants. I want to see if Mike Kefka can bring that same energy back, make these players look like they enjoy football again. You know, just give this. I don't. We don't need you to change the playbook. I just need you to call different plays. I want to know how much did Brian DeBoer have his hands in your play calling. You know, because I
Well,
Sneaky, I
kind of
got a
feel like he
question,
was.
man.
go ahead, Mark. What you got?
Yo, okay. If Kafka can make an improvement, the rest of the way, do you think Wink will come back?
I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, he left mainly because, uh, Brian was here. Dabs was here. So, I know. I mean, come on. Look, if you give Bill Belichick, and I'm not saying I want him to come here, but if you give Bill Belichick an opportunity to come to the NFL, he will leave North Carolina quick. I could
I
see
don't
that.
want him. I
No, I'm
don't
not.
want him.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, Wink is. I'm sure he's loving his time on the campus of Michigan. I'm sure he's enjoying coaching there. But the moment he is biting at the bit to come back in the NFL.
I don't
I,
I
think
I
told
I
I
don't
Mark, to
think
told
he'll
answer
y'all
get
your
there.
question
earlier.
100%, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if Wink wouldn't.
I told you
wouldn't.
earlier. I told you earlier, Sneaky. All he has to do is win most of these last 8 games. If he wins 5 out of the last 8 games and cleans up what Brian Dable couldn't clean up, like the penalties, the fourth quarter collapses.
Mm.
If he fixes all that, he will be our next head coach. Watch what I tell you.
Well,
Or even
back to that wing point is
right.
the main reason why I don't see that happening is because I'll always looked at Joe Shane and Coach Dable at two peas in a pod. Like I think they was real close, and I don't think that Joe Shane is rocking with Wink anymore like that either.
So the bridges are burned.
That's what I believe. That's what
Okay.
I believe.
I don't believe Wink was that good of a defensive coordinator though. I personally, me. I know everybody
Oh
liked
wait.
him because some
Oh,
of the production.
TP, you're saying that bridge is burned with Wink and Shane.
Right,
Oh,
right.
okay. I see what you're saying. But I mean, in that aspect of it though, and I'm of course we're all on the outside looking in. There has to be an well, and we don't know what the full argument or discussion was between Wink and Coach. We just know that that last season they were together, there were some issues. Okay, and real quick, I do want to say this, Daryl. I also wrote down when you were talking about what what Kifka needs to clean up is the fact that his in-game decision making was in question. And if Kifka can show us that he can do those, have those moments that can be better in those moments than Dable. I mean that'll be promising as well. All I wrote down was in game. I had it all in my head, but when it came out, it didn't come out as I thought it would. Anyway,
Someone
pause.
said someone just made the comment that they didn't believe that Wink was that good of a DC, which I can receive that. But one thing that I 100% do believe that he would have been good for us. He would have been good for the roster that we have. I think that he definitely would have put out better game ending results than we have. Those are things that I believe in.
But
I
see,
agree with that. I do agree.
the
I
issue
do.
is, I think what ended up happening with Dayball. Dayball was the first time head coach. So as the first time head coach, you're not going to bring in a staff that's more competent than you. So he brought in a staff like Wink because a lot of teams didn't want to give Wink the head coaching job. He already knew that. So for him to know that, that's why he brought Wink in. But see, the problem between him and Wink is when Wink started showing him up, because Wink really knows football. So Wink starts showing him up in these meetings and how to scheme things out, and he started calling them out. And him being called out is what Dayball wasn't trying to have, because Dayball wasn't trying to get undercut by nobody. That's why he handpicked Bowen. He handpicked Bowen because Bowen is not about to be nobody's head coach.
Well,
He's
hey,
not about
Sean,
to be nobody's
real
head
quick,
coach. Look,
quick
he
question for you. Do you think that Kafka is more competent than Coach Davis?
I believe Kafka has a lot of experience. I believe that he's more of an open-minded person. He's going to see the game at all angles more than what Dayball. Dayball's going to force the issue. He's going to make players play positions they never played. He's going to try to force. I'm supposed to be driving my four-wheeler, but I want to pull the Ferrari out. You see what I'm saying? But instead of this muddy uh, mountain range, four-wheeler drive and pull out my four-wheeler, I'm gonna keep trying to pull the Ferrari out. That's what Dayball. He was his own demise because he wanted to push the issue of that air attack. So I think, in my opinion, Dayball wasn't going to have no coaching staff that was going to take his spot. And Kafka, he was sought out by many, many, many teams wanted to pick up Kafka. Even when he was with Kansas City, there were teams that were giving him interviews for head coaching. So Dayball already knew that. So Dayball, in the back of his head, he got like a sabotage about him. He has a ulterior motive. I'm gonna do good enough to keep my job, but I'm not gonna do good enough for everybody else to get above me. And that's what it showed on the playing field. Because I guarantee you, if Dayball was our offensive coordinator, he probably had his offense running and doing his thing. And I guarantee you, if he gets an offensive coordinator position elsewhere, he's gonna look like new money.
Yeah.
But as the new
Well,
head coach, not
But
wanting to lose your position, you're gonna kind of play it to where you don't want your understudies to pass you.
hold up. I have a question for you guys. I'm not a Giants fan or whatever, but I have a question. All the shows that I've been watching and I've been hearing you guys, everybody would complain about Kafka, right? Saying that because he's the offensive coordinator apparently, and everybody would complain that your offense is trash. Make me understand, how are you going to keep him as an interim coach if he can't even do it on offense? That's just a question that I want to know coming from you guys, because you guys are Giants fans. How can you put a
so,
guy
so Luke,
that can't? How can you put a guy that can't even take care of his own situation, which is the offense,
he did
and then
his
put him in the
job,
interim?
Luke. He
Luke,
did his job, Luke.
I
He
think,
he
I
he
think
he
that
put us he put that offense in perfect positions to win the game. It was the
Daryl,
defensive
Daryl,
coordinator.
Daryl,
Huh?
Daryl, 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 Daryl. You were
Hold
the
on.
same guy 2 weeks ago that was complaining about the offense. That why are they running the ball instead of passing on second and third down? So make me understand
So,
how he did
okay,
his job.
all right, okay, Luce, I got you on this one. I think what I'm hearing, because you're right, you're right. I had some questions about Kifka's play calling abilities in year two,
Yes,
especially during that week one um,
That was
uh,
Dallas.
against the Dallas. Yeah, that 40 burger. I still have PTSD from that. I
But
think I think the overall sense that I'm understanding, because I know where you're coming from. I think what I'm thinking is the fact that, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, is that there was a sense of sabotage. Is that fair from Dable?
Dable had
True.
his hand
Because
in it.
because what Dable would do, and I think it was misguided, but you know, in that the second season of Dable after winning Coach of the Year, I could see the pressure, right? You know, losing 40-0, entering week two in Arizona, not scoring any points, not just a field goal, any points in the first half. So, and the story that I'm hearing is that he took the responsibilities away from Kifka, towards the end of the Dallas game, gave it back to him in the Arizona game. But then when they came back from behind, Dable had the play calling responsibilities back. And it was going back and forth because you saw Dable with the call sheet. Okay. So
come
I
on.
think I think it's fair to say that the reason why Pivka wasn't as successful, right, as now that we hoped, is because Dayball was holding them back. Am I the only one
So
that?
you're telling me you're gonna give the weakest link that you guys were complaining about 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. You're gonna give that guy the steering wheel to drive your team. That's what I'm asking. Like it
So I
makes no
got you,
sense to
Loops.
me.
I got you, Loops. I got you,
All
Loops.
right,
Right
go
here.
ahead, TP.
So for one, I think we all can agree that the weakest link is Shane Bourne. I think we all feel
Oh,
that
I
way.
was
Exactly.
about to, I
That
was about to say
that's
that.
Hands
exactly
down.
where it all starts off.
But also, I think what Sneaky was trying to communicate is that as Giant fans, it's hard for us to believe that Kafka was able to coach this offense free range without the input and the overwatching and what Sneaky saying the sabotaging of Coach Dable. And so now, and it's not like it's like Kafka is just automatically off the hook, but now we're going to watch and we're going to see, okay, what does it look like when Coach Dable is not there? Because we're still trying to pinpoint the main issue so that we can move forward and find the answer, if that makes sense.
And Loops, let's not forget, this is his audition. He still has to go out there and earn it. It's an interim base. I mean,
Okay.
it's
Hey,
just
Sneaky.
Okay.
hold on.
Sneaky, can I say something real quick
Yeah,
after you, please?
let me just get this out. There's a good chance, a damn good chance, that this whole coaching staff will not be there next year.
Yes.
Even if Kifka gets the job, that does not guarantee Bowen that's going to be there, or any of the coaches. Okay, because maybe Kifka wants to have his own staff, but
He should keep his offensive line coach for sure.
yeah, definitely the offensive line coach. I
Okay.
think he
Another
should
thing.
say period. But
Another thing. Sneak.
hold on
Another
one
thing.
second.
Sneak.
Daryl wants something to say something real quick. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Daryl.
Oh, damn. Go ahead, Loops. I'll come back. Go ahead, because I
Oh,
had forgot. Go
my bad,
ahead.
My
Daryl. My bad.
my thing is like how you guys said that these guys need to be like. In other words, you got to breed them or whatever into a new system. My thing is, it's like all of us. We're all grown men. We all work for our money. I think instead of worrying about the tush push, I think they should take away the guaranteed money. You know why? Because once these guys get the contracts and the guaranteed money, there's no heart. And I'll tell you exactly one reason. Even though I'm going to change the subject on sports, look at LeBron James. LeBron James supposedly his final season, blah blah blah, whatever. All of a sudden, he was going to be out for 2, 3 months. Now the Lakers are 8-3, and now all of a sudden he's practicing.
He wants to get in that bag. Like
Thank you.
he
But
wants to
hold on.
join
But
that
hold on
club,
though. But hold
man.
on though. But hold
Yeah.
on though. Look at the way. Another thing, Ezekiel Elliott. Everybody liked him until these guys start getting selfish, shady, however you want to put it. They get their money, they forget about everybody else. What happened to him when he got his big contract? Everybody stopped blocking for him.
But that goes with everybody. I mean, that goes with
But
everybody.
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Nowadays, whether it's kids, adults, pros, whatever, like us, we don't go to work, dog. We don't get paid. We don't get guaranteed money. They don't tell you, Sneaky G man, you want to make a podcast? You know what? Make 16 shows and we'll guarantee you $4,000. No, there's no guaranteed money. You got to work for it.
Right.
That's why these guys are on the same boat. I mean, maybe we weren't as blessed to be on the same level as them, but why do they get guaranteed money? Why?
I
It's that
guess. Yeah.
Hollywood, man.
Yeah.
It's
You
But
know,
that's what I'm
Hollywood
saying.
sports.
But that's what I'm
well,
saying. That's where all this comes into place. And look, I'm coming at you guys, and I'm not a New York Giants fan. I'm here because all of us here were family, and especially because of Sneaky. I've been here since the very beginning, and I'll tell you straight up, the Giants thing. What I don't understand is like with you, Daryl. I told you, you guys were, and I got receipts. Ask Sneaky, and all you guys know I keep receipts. I can go back and look at the film just like the pros, and I'll show you where
oh,
all you guys
yeah,
were
and
talking about
I'd be
Kafka,
first to admit it. Yeah.
and all you guys were all talking about Kafka. But make me understand, maybe Dable wasn't your problem, but yet Dable got canned, and who took over? That same guy that's averaging how many
But like
yards
we just
on
answered that. We
offense?
just responded
We
to
just
that though.
answered that, Loops. We just
Yeah.
No, but
answered
that's
that.
not.
Dabo
But
had his
Dayball,
hand in that offense.
but
But
Okay, but
Dayball
that's
had
what
to
I'm saying.
get
Okay,
hold,
but
canned.
hold
now
up, but
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 Dayball had
okay,
to
now
get
you,
canned.
but now you as Giants fans, because the way it looks, if Kafka already got the steering wheel to the car, what if Kafka gets the head coaching job next year?
That's
What
a
are you
big
guys
what
gonna
if.
say then?
That's a big what then we gotta rock with him.
but but
But
the
What I
offense
want
ain't
Dayball
the
had to
what
get
problem.
I want to
canned.
The,
see, what I want to see is I want to see the same offense that I seen in the preseason with them putting up all those points. Because I believe that Brian Dabo didn't have his hand in that offense that Mike Kafka was running
what
during during the preseason.
But we
the
missing
o-
it. Why we keep talking about putting up all these points? Our problem is not putting up points.
That's
It's
yeah,
not
we're
what
about the
I'm.
putting the point.
points.
That's
We're
not
putting
what
the
I'm
Opponents
points
got
saying.
this year.
the
But
point.
I want to see. I just want to see. I just want to see fucking consistency.
Well, we all want to see
I
that.
Oh,
want to see
okay,
everybody involved. I want to see the defense, especially improve because that's where it's at anyway.
But here
right.
goes one
So
thing for what he was
Shane
saying about
Bowen should have
Dayball.
been fired before Brian Daboll.
Look, for what he was saying about Dayball and him getting canned. Look at Detroit. Detroit's coach, he made it clear on the airwaves that he is going to run his offense. And he made that point very clear. And next you know it, they ran up the score because his offensive
Mm.
coordinator wasn't getting it done. And as a head coach, you have to take those measures. You have to make it happen because it's your head on that. At the end of the day, it's your job security. So as a head coach, Dan Campbell, he took the play calling and he made it work because he knows football. And unfortunately, Dayball didn't do that because when he did take over the play calling, it was still up and down. It was still,
right,
mediocre. It was still problems because there was plenty times in the past seasons that Dayball took over the play calling and it still looked trash.
I don't think
right.
Campbell's
Well,
calling the plays for Detroit.
Yeah,
Yep.
man, that was all over the air, man. That dude even
Okay.
had an interview about that. He said, because you got to remember, Detroit was kind of struggling, and then Detroit took that loss to who beat them? I think
Mi-
Kansas City beat them, and
No,
after that Kansas
Minnesota.
City loss,
Minnesota.
he after that
Yeah,
loss,
yeah, yeah. I do
he
remember
turned
that.
but
he took the play calling. He took the
but
play
I
calling and said, I'm gonna make an example. And
So
what he
but
did is make an example and said, "Hey, offensive coordinator, this is the type of shit I expect." You see
but
where I'm
as,
getting
as
at? And I
giant
guarantee
as the
you,
Giants. as the Giants, why are we talking about offense? Because we're putting up at least 20 points a game.
No,
Yeah.
I
That's
It's
what
not
no,
the
I'm
no. I
saying,
don't
offense.
think
It's
the
bro.
uh,
That's
offense
what
is
I'm
the issue.
saying.
The
but
issue
now
is
speaking of offense, before we go on to anything else, Achilles dot okay, I'm messing up his name. I'll just say Achilles. He says something about wait, thoughts on Isaiah Hodges back on the Giants?
Yeah, he's back on the
We
Giants.
we need it. We need him. He can actually catch. He's a hands catcher.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why he left
In
in the
here.
first place. To be honest, I don't get that whole transaction and why he
You
left.
know who we need to be talking about? We need to be talking about Joe Shane. Because I
Oh,
want to talk about some of the misses he got going on.
he gonna have his moment. He'll have his
Well,
moment.
let me ask y'all this, just based off your opinion. I think their games is slightly different, right? So I'm not asking that because I don't whatever, but I'm asking, what do you think that Isaiah Hodgins can bring to the team that Lil Jordan Humphrey couldn't?
Experience.
His tallness,
I
Experience.
well,
Hold on. Did you hear what I asked?
yeah.
production,
What can
a
he
little
bring?
more production.
You think Isaiah
He'll
Hodgins
bring
can
more
bring more?
production.
You think Isaiah
Yeah,
Hodgins can bring more experience than Lil Jordan Humphrey?
I think he
Uh,
brings more production.
well, I
More
will
production.
say when I mean experience, I don't just mean NFL experience. I mean experience in this offense, in this in this quarter. Because right now we're still using Brian Dable's offense, if we like it or not. Okay,
right.
I think
and
he
I
gives
think
more production.
I can't hear
well
him.
that too, but I think with him, because Hodges was with Dable in Buffalo, so
Right.
Hodges is very experienced with this whole system.
I mean,
That's what
Hodgins was
I
out
believe.
there as the main
Hodgins
receiver, and he did well
Hodgins
for us as the only
Hodgins
receiver.
Hodgins is a big man he's a hands catcher, and he can actually run routes. Little Jordan Humphreys, they didn't run him. I don't know if he can run routes or not, but they didn't really run the whole. It didn't look like they was running the whole route tree with this guy. He was more like a deep threat, is what it looked like, you know.
I still think that Lil Jordan Humphrey was a big body guy that can still catch in the middle of the field and dominate his routes as far as giving you a curl route here and there. And
Right.
when it comes to production, I think they kind of neck and neck as we stand right now. I would actually give it to Lil Jordan Humphrey than I would give it to Isaiah Hodgins.
I mean, the only
I,
reason why I say Hodgins is because you remember a couple seasons ago where Hodgins was
right.
really the main receiver, and he
Yeah,
didn't have
That
anybody else out there with him, and he was
that
having
Vikings game.
Eddie,
It was
and
that
he
Vikings
yeah he
game.
had multiple games. There was actually multiple games that he had 4 5 catches, 60 plus yards, 80 plus yards, and to me, little Jordan Humphreys, he's not going to give you that consistently. He might give you that once every 4 or 5 games, but I don't see him
Right.
doing that, on a consistent basis, as opposed to what Hodgins might be able to do a little
See,
more.
and
but my only problem with that is that you're speaking past tense. And what we've
Hmm.
seen from Lil Jordan Humphrey, we got preseason,
Yep.
which is at least is data. And then we also have I mean, let's be real. We're not winning. What was that? The Eagle game that he came in? We're not winning that game without Lil Jordan Humphrey.
I mean, I
Right.
didn't want him out the building. You see what I'm
I,
saying? Because he's a Longhorn, it's UT all day. So I ride with Lil Jordan. So I didn't want him out the building. But unfortunately, this organization always gets rid of the players that we should keep.
Hey
it,
guys, I
Ray
don't want to interrupt, but can everybody hear me?
yeah, we got you.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Sorry
we
about
got
that.
you.
Ray McLeod, that was a miss. I believe
Yeah,
that was a miss.
a big miss, a
Yeah.
big miss.
Yeah.
I
Well,
Hey,
think
because
one
I
that
ain't
was
seen
question.
nothing yet.
One
that was
question I want
more
to
of
ask
that
you guys as
Dayball stuff.
Giant. One thing I want to ask you guys as Giants fan, because the other day, of course, I was at work and I can't be on, and I was listening to you guys, and I can't remember if it was H Town or if it was Dash when you guys were talking about your losses. The losses that you guys got, I think if you really put all of them together, you're averaging about what? Maybe like 5 points difference on every loss.
I'll have to look
Do
at it.
Correct.
you really
Correct.
think? Do you really think that it's actually the coaches? Because me, I'm telling you, I've I was born and raised, and I mean, I know it's sad because you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, it's been 30 years since you guys won." Yeah, whatever. Anyway, Cowboy shit, whatever. But sometimes I don't even think it's the coaches, man. I think it takes the heart and dedication of the players you have on the field.
You're not wrong.
Okay,
Because 5 points, averaging on how many losses you got? You guys are what, 2-7, 2-6, whatever.
But to your
2 and 8.
point, man,
2-8.
that's
Yeah.
the MO, bro. That's
so
the
But
Luke,
MO
that,
of
let
but
the
me
that's
tell
guy.
you,
not.
Luke,
But that's
Luke,
what
let
I'm
me tell.
saying. You could take us, right? There's what? How many of us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
There's
8,
9 of
9.
us.
There's 9 of us right now, right? 9 of us, and none of us that I know of, none of us get paid millions of dollars. But when we come on here first and foremost for Sneaky G Man, right or wrong.
True.
Right.
That's one
I,
thing. That's
and I,
one thing.
I
That's
Not
one
really,
thing.
not really.
That's one thing.
I
And I've always said,
love you too, TP.
I've always said in life, and like I tell my kids, any kid, because nowadays, from what we grew up to where the kids are now, everything's changed. But there's 3 Ds in life. It's desire, dedication, and determination. And I'll tell you one thing right now. Like I said, none of us get paid millions of dollars. But yet, everybody has lives, everybody pays bills, everybody has jobs. We have guys coming on this show at work, just like the other day. Remember on Sunday Sneak
Oh,
when we were online?
TP's on one of them.
TP, H Town, all these guys. And we all say, hey, I'm sorry. We all tell each other, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't make it, blah, blah. The thing is, how come they can't take that to the locker room? Is what I don't understand.
I think
You know what I mean?
that's a culture thing, man. There's no culture in the organization. The
Yeah.
But
culture
doggy, but
isn't
dog, if you
there.
really think about it, it takes a grown man to accept your faults, mistakes, and its accountability.
But it's a group
Because
effort, though. It's a group
as
effort.
a Giants organization right now, 2-6, you guys should easily.
Two and eight.
The only loss that I think you guys should have is against the Cowboy loss. And I'm not throwing shade, I'm not throwing rocks or whatever you want to call it, but that was actually a loss because
Okay, so Luke, I want to challenge your train of thought there
okay.
because let's go to the Cowboy game. Okay,
Hmm.
the Cowboy game was a game where you can't question the effort and determination because that's literally what we had out there on the field. And the probability is absolutely mind blowing as to the chances of us supposed to be winning that game. When
Okay,
Malik
but
scored hold on, when Malik scored that touchdown, that's supposed to be game. So you can't say it's not coaching when they're literally not putting us in a position to win because what ended up happening, our corners are not even put in a position to win that game. It has nothing to do with determination at that point.
They gave up all those yards.
okay,
Yep.
but now let me ask you one thing. Ever since Scatterboo got hurt, how was the morale in this panel right now? How was the morale? What did you guys say?
Oh, let me say this because you're a Cowboys fan. I can't remember the defensive coordinator that went to the Commanders. I can't remember his name,
Dan Quinn.
but
He's
Dan
the head
Dan
Quinn.
Quinn.
coach now.
Okay, thank you. The Cowboys with Dan Quinn as the defensive coordinator look totally different than the
Right.
Cowboys right
And you
now.
know what? And you know why Dan Quinn's different? And Sneaky's my witness. Danny's my witness. Daryl's my witness. All the guys since day one, and I've said it since day one. The biggest problem that the Cowboys have is a man that needs to die, and that mf'er has a pacemaker in his
That's
chest. Is Jerry Jones, my dog.
Yo, did you buy his
look.
Well,
tombstone
see,
yet?
look,
I hear what you're saying, but what I'm saying is the defensive coordinator counts. It does count. When you don't have a good defensive coordinator, you can score all the points in the world, but if you let the other team score with you,
Well, yeah, that's
you
obvious.
you will lose.
But what I'm saying is the morale when Scatterboo went out, the morale went down with just the panel here, and you guys aren't even playing with the Giants.
I think your point is
You cannot tell me that one guy out of 11 guys on the field is gonna make or break you with your season in a pro
But you're
football.
missing the whole pie,
I
though.
don't think the morale was down in that aspect. It was more of a rookie player that was playing the game the right way.
Yeah.
So even the Eagles fans and the whole stadium, they had a standing ovation for him.
Yeah.
And the Eagles and the Giants hate each other. But the reason why it was a standing ovation and the reason why the morale was down, like like you witnessed, I think it was just from it being a rookie player that played the game the right way. And the right way is the way that you're trying to explain. The heart of the game, the grit of the
Mhm.
game, and doing what it needs to be done no matter what. And that's what you're saying that the Giants don't have. But you gotta understand that the Giants haven't had that for years now. Because in the
Yeah.
past 3 years, it's been 6 games a season that they lose by 2, 3 points.
Yeah.
They got about 6, 7 losses each season that they lose by 2, 3 points. So you got to understand that's been it's kind of like you say you have a black cloud over your organization because Jerry Jones, right? And Jerry Jones needs to let things go and let his son run things before things change for y'all.
Or their
So it's kind of
GM.
the same type of thing that's going on with the Giants. The Giants have that situation where it's just whatever coaching has been coming in the building has been incompetent. They don't know situational awareness. Any sport is about situational awareness. And situational awareness starts on the field and off the field. It begins off the field and then it finishes on the field. So if you don't have situational awareness from the ownership to get the right GM, to get the right coach, head coach, to get the right staff, to get the right players in place, and to have the right culture and expectation, not just have an expectation, but actually push it, actually demand it.
Mhm.
And if you don't have a demand of it, then you have an organization like your organization, and then you have an organization like our organization where it's good players, a lot of talent, a lot of opportunity, but wasted seasons because of just remember this game of football. It isn't like no other sport. This sport, it actually takes every player on the field. This isn't like basketball. One player could take over. This isn't like baseball where, a couple hits get the game over. This is actually a game that's played for since the first quarter to the end of the quarter, and each player has to do their job collectively. So if you don't have, like you say, to your point, you got players that me and you and Sneaky and TP doing the best. And then we got 2, 3 other players that I heard, and then we got a couple more players that really don't care. Then the production ain't gonna be too good. And then when you got coaches, they aren't motivating your team. They're not developing your players. And then to the worst part about it is when situational awareness comes around, is when that one third down that you rather you might have do the bootleg play action instead of running down the middle, or on first down, get in 12 personnel and then take a shot deep down the field. And those type of things, it's all about situational awareness. And unfortunately, like TP was saying, our defensive coach, he doesn't understand that. He let look, he gave CD Lamb and your other receiver 20 yards to play with, and then your kicker iced the game. You know what I mean? So
Okay,
it's just
but now let me ask you a question. Like you say, everybody needs to know the situation. Doggy, they're professional football
yeah, I
players. They
understand.
get paid $1 million. Hold on.
I understand.
One thing I want to ask you guys, and I want however you guys when order, however you guys want to answer it or whatever. Answer it one by one, please. I just want to know because I'm just saying I'm here for the fun, and it's great to talk football and see different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? The Denver Broncos lost. You guys were high on Jackson Dart, right? Let me finish before you guys go crazy on me. You guys were high on Jackson Dart. Tell me, doggy, how in the world are you gonna run? You guys had the lead or whatever, and your job is to waste time. And everybody on the panel had said, "Oh, I can't believe they're doing a pass play." Blah 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 blah. My thing is, he's a grown ass man already. You're gonna play in the league. You got to be a big dog. You want to take someone's starting position. You need to prove your place, your colors, your worth, your heart, everything. My question to you guys is: even if it was a pass play and Jackson Dart's running, why on God's green earth, if you know that he has to waste time, why does he throw that little bullshit bubble pass and get
You must
intercepted?
have you must have missed yesterday's episode.
Yeah. Not yesterday, Tuesday. Yeah.
Me
It's
too,
because
Jay.
Look,
I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie to you guys.
look,
I'm not gonna lie to you
so
guys. I work at Amazon and I have to be gift wrapping all your guys' Thanksgiving and Christmas
and
gifts
we
right
thank you
now.
for that, and we
We
thank you.
appreciate that.
But
So
no, I
look,
mean
the thing
that's what I'm
about
saying. I may have missed it, but I just want to know
yeah, the
now
thing
that I'm
about
here.
Jackson, though, and this is what TP is alluding to, is the fact that he does not have in game or end of game situational awareness. Okay, now look, I'll say this: when we were up by 10, if I'm not mistaken, when we were up by 10 with, I'm sorry, no, it was 28.
Wow.
It was 28 to 26 to 8 with four and some change left in the game, five and some change left in the game.
Mhm.
And the Broncos had all three timeouts. Okay. When we had the ball last, what we should have done, like it or not, and this is not playing conservative, this is when you're playing chess on the football field. Run the ball, make them use a timeout.
3 times and they're
Run the
done.
ball again, make them run the timeout. And then the third time, yes, he passed the ball. Now, look, the only reason why I can think of why he did what he did, or why that play call was called the way it was called, was a similar situation happened in San Diego when he completed the pass, and that basically sealed the game.
You know what I think he did?
So,
I think he tried to play hero.
well, I mean, that's just the competitor in him, you know. But I mean, that's another thing. And TP, you please add on if you want to as well. I mean, we were talking about the turnovers when it comes to to Jackson Dart, and how, you know, I mean, I know someone asked me on TikTok, should we should we shut him down for the year, right?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
If I mean, the fact that our season may be over, last time I checked, I don't know if we're eliminated mathematically yet. I don't know. And if we are, I'm just in denial. um, I think game reps are important. And I think in order for Jackson to get better, barring he gets another injury of any kind, that I think it's important for him. He's in there now. He's in the fight. We need to keep him in there. He needs to learn the remaining of the season, because what he can pick up this year will definitely benefit him in the future. TP, go ahead, man. I didn't mean to take too much time.
No, I wanted to actually show you this, man, because speaking of our Wonder Boy Jackson Dart here, I wanted to show you the
Can't
play
see
that I
with
was
the dog.
talking about.
Sneak,
Hopefully
blow
you
up
can
and
see it.
scream. There you
Okay, can you see it? All right.
This is the Bears game.
It's wide open right there.
Seen it? This is close up view right here.
He was supposed to let it go right there.
You see, but what I'm saying is like you guys as Giant fans or whatever, and I know you guys hate the Cowboys or whatever, and everybody always downgrade Dak Prescott and talks about the rings or whatever. And Sneak, you're my witness. I've talked about it before over and over and over and over and over again. My thing is NFC championships. This is the way I see the game. NFC championships, MVPs, all that crap, it don't mean nothing. Rings is what shows in my sense of thought. It shows what you're worth. How many rings does Dak have? Zero. How many rings does Lamar Jackson have? How many rings does Joe Burrow have? How many rings does Josh Allen have? But no one degrades those guys. Lamar Jackson has been a choker since he was at Louisville. Look at the last bowl game that he played at Louisville. I'll give you guys that for homework.
Was it
Look
the
at the
Liberty
last
Bowl?
game he played with Louisville. They were winning the game. Same situation that he's been 3 times. 3 times against the man, the myth, the legend. And I don't care what anybody says. I like that guy because I saw him play at Texas Tech, which is Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I do want to add something real quick, because I know we're running close to the end of the show. Another thing that the Giants have not had in so long was an offensive line. And I want to share something with you guys. If everybody can mute their mics for me real quick. I had the pleasure of being on the what is it? The Big Blue.
That fairly well in the locker room.
So, oops.
You're right. I agree. That is important.
So I had the honor of being on there. Sean O'Hara, one of our great linemen, Super Bowl champion. I had to put him on the spot. And well, I'll just go ahead and play it out. Here we go.
All right. 2 more calls, Sean. Let's get to him. Let's go to, I just like the name, and he's out of town. So let's go to Sneaky Gman in Dallas. Sneaky, I'm sure you're really sneaky this week, given everything that's gone down there in Dallas.
Hey, first off, before I get started, I do want to give a shout-out to Mr. Mara. I want to let him know that I'm praying for his healing and his quick recovery.
Yeah, we all are.
Of this journey that he's going through.
Yeah,
okay, guys. Sean, this one's for you, man.
All right.
First, it's great to speak with you, and it's a perfect segue because you were talking about Gilbride a few minutes ago, and the cohesiveness of the offense coordinator with Eli. But let's not forget the offensive line. We had with you in it. We had a dominating offensive line. Both Super Bowls. I know you were part of one of them. And I want to say, since even McAdoo, we have not had a sustainable offensive line. What is and I hate to put you on the spot, but I want to see how thick your skin is. No, I'm kidding. What are we missing as far as offensive line goes since 2013?
Yeah, good question, Sneaky G. Appreciate the sentiments. Offensive line is all about consistency. And, when you look at, all right, look, I think as much as I hate saying this, the Eagles have probably been the gold standard for the last couple of years on offensive line play. And they have consistently had the same guys in there. Even the Giants offensive line this year, they have gotten better because like John Runyon and Greg Van Roten have played every snap, at guard. We have not had the changing of the guards like we have had in previous years. JMS has been in and out of the lineup this year. Andrew Thomas when he came back. But that chemistry is built through all those reps. Yes, our offensive line back when I played, we were built, we had been together for years. So that consistency definitely breeds the excellence. One of the challenges that I think the Giants have had is, look, they've missed on some draft picks, but that constant, revolving door in the offensive line position is what has hampered some of that chemistry and that consistency. But I also think that the offensive line play has changed even in the last 10 years or so because you don't have as many reps. Training camp has been reduced. You're in full pads 8 times in an entire training camp. So it's a lot harder to get these young kids that come into the league at offensive line position. It's a lot harder to get them reps. I mean, I would have 1,000 reps in full pads before the season even started. Now they might not have 1,000 reps until halfway through the season in full pads. So it's really changed that learning curve when you bring young players into the league, and they're playing right away now. You're not redshirting rookies anymore like you used to. So you're coming in and you got to contribute and you got to perform. I think that has changed some of the offensive line play, along with the schemes now. It's definitely a different schemed offense now. So I think those are all different reasons and different factors. But it's hard. It's hard to be consistent when there's constant change. And I think that offensive line position is the one position that you cannot microwave. You can microwave, you're bringing in a couple of different receivers, running back, skill position guys, defensive guys. But when it comes to offensive linemen, it's got to be in the slow cooker. It's got to take time.
There you go.
Boy, I got to poke at you.
What? TP, what I do now, TP? What I do now?
I think TP's going the same place I'm going. Go ahead, TP.
In the beginning of the video, hey, I just want to say, man, John Mary, y'all in my prayers. And they're like, what's the question?
Oh, I know. They didn't. Yeah, I know. Hey, but you know what? At the time, I didn't care. I want to know John Mara that I was thinking about him. And, I've had family and friends that suffered through this fucking disease and or this illness, and wish them
The,
nothing but the best.
the only thing that was missing after you said that was Sneaky G Man is sponsored by Huggies because he's very soft.
And don't forget Hershey Kisses too, right? Hold on. Tell me you're kissing ass without time. God,
Right?
hey, can I not? Can I not show some love to Mara?
Tell me you're asking for a free
Jesus.
season ticket without asking for the
God.
free season ticket.
Hey, look, all I gotta say is John Mara, he does give at least he put a ring on it, right? At least he see what I did there? At least he put a anyway, I'm sorry. I thought
Hey,
that was
Beyonce.
No, but I do love that answer though, man. Um that definitely rings true, man. Like
See, but my thing is, why do you have to give these guys more reps if they should be already,
what do you
like
mean?
I said, before anybody starts tripping, the way I see
Yeah,
it? It's like when you're raising your kid, and my kid goes from middle school to high school, and then from high school to real life. It's like, I'm not going to be sitting there and telling my son, okay, you're going to go to work, and then when you get paid, you need to do like these
It's
guys
because
should be ready for the
yeah,
big show,
but
dog.
see, you need the reps because as a unison, you got to move
yeah,
cohesively in one
yeah.
unit,
But
and
the
as
thing
an
is,
offensive line. But you got
these
to think about
guys,
it. It don't matter how long you've been playing, bro. You got to remember they're playing with four other guys on the line, five other
but that's
guys
what I'm saying.
sometimes on the
But that's
line.
what I'm saying. That's
But
where I
but
go.
but it
That's where I
takes
go
reps
back
so
with.
you could know what each other's strengths are, how you play next to each other, so you won't bump to each other, so you won't mess up your footwork. And all that. It takes reps, bro. Because think
Who
about
is
it.
it? TP, right?
You got, bro.
No,
You
that's
got
H
you got
Town. That's H
you
Town.
got
H
three.
Town.
Look, you got 300 plus pound 6'5", six
No, yeah.
nine D linemen coming full power at you, and
Okay, but
and you're
H Town. Tell me. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but also hear me out. Like I said, the only thing about me is just like how you guys feel about the tush push or whatever, and it's obvious. Eagles get away with it, the false start, the jump, whatever. Okay, if you take away the tush push or whatever, my thing is take away the guaranteed money, and then we're gonna see who really has heart. That's all I ask.
but the old linemen really don't get paid like
They don't
that.
get paid
So
like that
that's
anyway.
not the
Exactly,
unit
because
that.
that's the way the game
But
is.
Thomas did get some guaranteed money though in his last contract. I just want to harp on the reps aspect of it. You got to have reps because you want to not only get the play down to where
How many reps did you have when you made this show?
well right now should we looking at what 324
But when you started, how many reps did
and
you
it's
get?
zero.
But a
But that
Zero.
show and
but I'm saying though,
football are
I mean
two different things.
that's
You're
but
you're
well no I
comparing
mean it
oranges and apples, man. That
well
you
I
can't.
mean
But no, I
true.
can't be comparing oranges to
You
apples because in that locker room there's no heart and there's about 30 some odd people here together and we're together and we're family and we don't
we
get paid
understand that
millions.
part, but
So
to your point, you were trying to say why so many reps, and we're trying to let you know that you have to have those reps, especially as an offensive line,
But
because
my
if your
thing is,
offensive line doesn't get used to working together
but
and
what I'm trying
steps
to say is,
and
what I'm trying to say is, like I said again, just me seeing it from the outside or whatever. I think it's good because these guys need to fail to make themselves better. You know what I'm saying? Like they need to fail. Like everyone's gonna fail regardless because like college and pro is a thousand times different. Like how you say the linemen are heavier, whatever. But these guys need to fail to get better. And if when they fail and they don't get better, that's when you say, okay, boom, later, big
but
dog.
but see
but see
they
but
have
see
improved though.
But
They actually have
you just
great
made the
improvement
point yourself. They need the reps to
to
get
get
up to
better.
game speed. They need those
yeah
reps to
To
get
get
that
better.
cohesion.
So
You
let me ask you a
understand? Like,
question then.
okay,
So let me
That's
so
ask
hold
you
on,
a
hold on, hold
question
on,
offensive.
hold
then.
on, hold on, hold
hold
on.
on
Hear me out.
hold
Hear
on
me out.
hold
Hear
on
me out.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
So going back to what you were saying, you know, uh, a tennis player, right? They don't just come out being the best there is. They come out being the best they can be. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so hold on, hold on, hold on. Hear me out. So going back to what you were saying, you know, a tennis player, right? They don't just come out being the best there is. They come out being the best they can be. just because they picked up the racket and learned how to play. They had to go through countless reps to perfect their craft. The
The
same
muscle
thing with the
memory.
offensive linemen. They have to go through those reps so they know where the person on their left and the person on their right is going to be. So that way
Man,
they're always in the perfect position to be able to play. And that comes with time, being together. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, I'm gonna throw it this way. Shout out to the military. It's just like the military. They train thousands and thousands and thousands of times on how to do one job, just
yeah.
so that way when the time comes, they execute that one job
Mhm.
perfectly.
Now I want to say this
The
too.
same thing for the offensive line, man.
I want
But
to
hold,
and
but hold on
hold
though.
on.
One thing I'm gonna ask you when like I said, when I'm going
Luke,
back to guaranteed money.
I got to
You
say this.
guys, you guys remember Jamarcus Russell?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have your bus.
Rest in
You're
peace.
gonna. I
But
mean,
that's what I'm saying.
but
Why
you
give him
say
the
Demarcus
guaranteed
Russell.
money?
You say Demarcus Russell, and I can throw in a Tom Brady. I mean, that's a whole. But let me just say this thing,
But
and
how many downs did
hold on.
Russell play?
I'm gonna get my close up on this one. For example, and I wish Dash was here. I wish Dash was here because being a quarterback, you need those reps because when you just can't go on the field and throw a button hook or a comeback pass
It's all
thinking the
about
receiver
timing.
knows exactly where that ball is going to be at, high, low, outside, inside, you got to get that. And then even a back shoulder pass, right? Even if simple as a
Right.
simple fade route or a seam. You
Or a
got to
slant.
have the reps so you can, that whole saying, practice makes perfect. But then you get to the point where you just practice so it just stays perfect.
Okay,
And,
but if
and for
practice
that,
makes perfect, but if practice makes perfect, the way they say, the way you practice is the way you play on the field. So what you're telling me is the Giants practice like shit because they look like shit on the field. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, the offensive line
you
actually
know,
looked way better because
Yeah.
that's the conversation. You had a conversation about the O line at first.
Offensive line is ranked
So
11th in the NFL according to PFF right now.
the O line is playing way better, and that's a big conversation for what Joe Sean is going to do in this offseason to bring in maybe some of the same players and some people to come off the bench, to have as backups. That's really a key part of the season coming up is the offensive line on what we're going to do to have multiple players to be able to replace just in case
I
and to
think,
even make it better.
and I don't, I mean, I know I'm not going to talk about the draft, especially now, but
You
at
know
the
you
same,
want to though.
not really, because I'm
That's all we
tired
have
of it.
to live for.
Yeah, I'm kind of it's old, but um one thing I do want to bring up is the fact that we all and loops, I'll even what you call it, you're allowed in this conversation too, because you're going to be our adopted Giants fan, because if you do come to this, you at least got to wear a Giant shirt. uh Guys, I want to throw this out there. And I'm going to change the topic because we got like 10 minutes left. I'm looking at the remaining season. Okay. We got so hold on. So we got what we got. We got Packers, Bears, Patriots. Okay, those the Packers is a home game.
Lions, not Bears.
I'm sorry, yeah. Lion, we played the Bears last week. Lions, because I was looking at the Bears. That's why
Lions, there's Tigers, there's Bears.
Lions, we got the Patriots, we got the Commanders, they're gonna be at MetLife. We got the Vikings at Raiders at
Raiders.
Dallas. Okay. I want to ask you guys this question. Mark, you still here? Not Mark D. Where's Mark G? Mark. Okay, I love that shirt, by the way. Is it possible now, Danny? You here, right?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. What game? What game, fellas? Do we think now? Is it possible that we can all meet up for one game this year? If not, I'll. I mean, we could table this and we could talk about it when the next schedule comes out. And if we settle on a game, I don't know if Ant's still listening, But if we settle on a game, I will make it my mission to make it happen and for all of us to meet up. And I mean, I know the holidays are coming up, and I understand that. Um, but what do you
Well, let
guys
me throw
think?
this out there. Let me
All
throw
right,
this out there. I'm going to MetLife and at the Washington game with my son. So
okay,
do with that information what you may.
okay.
I'm always down for the at Dallas game. It's always good to see, those fans that hate the Giants so bad.
That was the game that I was actually thinking about. TP, could you possibly make that game?
Nah, not this year.
Okay, okay.
Sticky, you're setting yourself up for failure, big dog.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. We might actually win that one.
No, you won't.
Might actually win that one. You don't know. You ain't got no crystal ball.
There's
Wait,
always
is
next year.
Luke's a Cowboys fan? I can't remember. Are you a Cowboys fan, man?
Yeah,
Don't we play at home when we play Dallas?
yeah.
We do.
Oh,
And
Daryl, you play horrible at home, bro.
I don't mind. Like I said, we could table this
Got a
in
Yankee hat
May.
on. You're a Cowboy fan?
We could table this in May.
I'll be a Cowboy fan when Jerry Jones dies.
So right now, like I said, he's an adopted Giant.
For the
So I'll tell you
next
what, guys, is it
for
fair
the
to say
next
we'll table this?
45 years, I'm gonna be a undercover giant. How can you say it?
Damn,
Investigator.
TP. You
I,
know,
I'll have a better chance of making it if we do it next year, Sneaky.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm see. And TP, I
Yeah,
could
same
probably
here.
make the Washington game, but it's just so close to the holidays, man. That's
So
my only.
why don't we all meet up in Canton for the NFL Hall of Fame game when Eli Manning gets in, hopefully.
He didn't even make the final roster this year.
Did he not? Did he announce that?
Yeah, I don't think he
Yeah,
made the
they
final.
snubbed him.
Last time I
Yeah,
heard he was in it.
He got snubbed.
yeah, yeah. I don't even think he made that list. So I'll tell you what, I may go to one more game this year, and I don't know which one it is, but TP, if it's the Commanders game, I'm gonna let you know. You're gonna be the first person I hit up.
Okay.
Now that being said, Loops, give me your final thoughts. You got 30 seconds. What you got?
All right. First and foremost, guys, I know I don't come on here a lot or whatever, but I'm trying. I talk to Sneak or whatever. If you guys have a podcast or whatever, let me know. Shoot Sneak a message, and I'm gonna try to do a little different. I want to try something different. I want to try to do a little podcast, but our same panel or whatever, make it a little different. Not just Giants, Cowboys. We'll go every sport. Just so we can stay together, build what we got. Keep it alive. Everybody that's watching, I mean, keep Sneak alive, man. And another thing is like H Town, Dash, everybody that's on here. I mean, I try to come on or whatever, and it's always a pleasure. It's awesome, even though I'm not a Giants fan. Um, Keep your heads up, man, and take care of each other because when your family gets sick, you don't know what you got until you're alone. And, that's why I come on here and I talk to Sneak. Sneak, you're always my boy. All you guys, let's keep the faith alive, keep Sneak alive, let's keep everything positive. And you guys always know, let's go Giants. Ow!
Appreciate you, Loops. Be good, man. I'll holler at you. H Town, 30 seconds. Go.
Man, you got to stop building your house on quicksand. You can't have nothing stable and sturdy without a proper foundation. And with the proper leadership is the only way to build that foundation. And hopefully that's the direction this team is going. Everybody, enjoy y'all's weekend when it comes up. And hopefully these Giants show some kind of direction, just a direction to get to some type of even playing field. Because right now it's like we keep shooting ourselves in the foot, and that got to stop. So hopefully, like I say, the foundation is the most important part, and they get it done. Everybody have a good night, Giants. Oh.
Appreciate you, fam. Mark D, what you got, man? You kind of quiet over there.
Yeah, I could see the future coming. I could see the future coming along. Just like getting Dable out of the house. That's all we really needed to do. And now we just gotta get some structure. If we get a nice head coach with good discipline, like a McCarthy or like one of those defensive guys, that's all we really need. And then I really think I see the future with that team. I like Kafka. We can move on from him. The defense definitely same bone needs to go. But other than that, y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good weekend, and let's go Giants. Ow!
Appreciate you, fam. Sully, what you got, man? 30 seconds. Go.
All right. Well, again, I'm I'm hopeful that we can win some of these games going forward with Kafka. Uh,
Ooh, Eli.
looking to see how this team operates with him at the helm. Um, still cautious about the defense because we still got Bowen. Hopefully, he takes whatever stick he's got out his ass and schemes for the players he's got. But yeah, man, let's go Giants. Ow.
Appreciate you. EMAC, I am so sorry, man.
It's all right, Sneaky.
No, it's not. You've been trying to come on for the longest time, and
I haven't been on here in a minute. What's up, y'all? How you guys doing?
yeah,
And then,
man.
first
But,
of all, I want to say this. I actually got a new job that'll be beginning in a few weeks, which is why I haven't been on here as much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll be working at a Navy base type hospital. So
Okay.
happy Veterans Day to everybody.
Okay.
And then I got one legitimate Giants question. I know it's like the end of the show, but would you guys want to hire Antonio Pierce?
For what?
Maybe as a defensive coordinator, but that's.
I mean, after all, he is a cheerleader and he likes your boys.
Yeah, we haven't got that conversation yet.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
we have
linebacker coach. That's it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Not even DC.
Yeah.
I guess not.
You know what the problem is that Giants fans, we have rose-colored glasses for everybody that we remember from Super Bowls. And we're remembering him the player. We're not looking at
like
him.
He won 2 Super Bowls as a player, but was he a good player at the
Oh no, it's not that. He was a great player for us.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is take the playing career out. Don't look at that as part of his resume. Look at just his coaching resume.
Yeah.
He goes to college. What did they really do there except him getting booted out of college for issues with improper payments and fights and all kinds of stuff there with the Jaden Tom thing.
ASU, right?
Yeah. Then he goes to the Raiders. He is a position coach. They bump him up to interim head coach. The players like him, so they make him the head coach, and he fails miserably.
I talked to Jalen yesterday on TikTok, and he said he wants Gruden as a Giants fan.
Well, yeah, we'll be talking about coaches probably sometime next week, and I might kick the can further down the road. But until then, you got 30 seconds. Give me your final thoughts, CMAC.
My final thoughts is I'm excited for my new job I'll be working. So I'll be getting paid $24 an hour, $23 an hour for part-time, getting $3.50 in benefits. I don't have much football to talk about, really. I just want I just want to talk about what you guys want higher, and I think it should be Antonio Pierce, but you guys made your point about it.
Yeah, but it's all good. But it's always good to hear from you and see you. Let me hear it one time, man.
Anyway, it's good seeing y'all. Miss you, Sneaky, and let's go Giants. Ow!
Appreciate you, Mac. Appreciate you. Daryl, final thoughts. What you got?
I don't have none this evening, Sneaky.
Okay. Let me hear one time.
You gentlemen have a good night, all right? Let's go Giants. Ow!
Appreciate you. Keefe, 30 seconds. What you got?
Yo, I'm happy for the new change in coach. I want to see what Mike Kefka got. There's a game on Sunday. We get to see Jameis Winston. We get to see maybe a couple new wrinkles. I'm going to be rooting for a win. I hope Mike Kafka does a good job because all I care about is wins. And Listen, I'm gonna be cheering them all the way. I don't care if they win out. I'm not worrying about the draft right now. I'm just worried about the Giants, and that's it. Giants Nation, stand up. A change is gonna come. Let's go, Giants. Ow!
I appreciate you, fam. And Loops, I'll probably hit you up tomorrow. I'll probably hit you up sometime tomorrow. I'll shoot you a text. Drew, what you got, man?
Listen, I'm excited and I'm not excited about this game this weekend overall. It's a weird mixture of emotions here. I'm excited to see what happens with Kafka and what the change is at that point to the to this team overall as a whole. I'm excited to go ahead and see what happens overall to how this team performs. I'm excited to see Jameis Winston. I wanted him last year, point blank. But I'm also worried we got some injuries, especially at linebacker. Nacho's going to be out again as well. We're facing a team that people may not realize. You think Jordan Love, you think all the receivers. This team literally is top 10 in the NFL in the amount of times they rush per game. They are a volume rushing team. That does not tend to go very well for the Giants. Throw in the injuries to the linebacker and defensive tackle position. It's a recipe for disaster.
And Gano's back on the IR again. Happy to see that.
Gano's back on. We got another kicker again.
Yeah.
So crazy, right?
He has probably kicked his last game for the Giants. That's probably one of the best things you can hear in a long time. No disrespect to Gano. He's done a lot of great things at this time before the injuries happen. I appreciate it. I don't want to be a jerk about it, but it's just time is up. It's like Russell Wilson. Time is up.
It's over. Yeah.
I hear it.
So, Sneaky, do me a favor. Hold on for a second after the show if you can.
I gotta dip out.
Okay.
But I probably get, like I told Loops. I told him, I said I'll give him a call. And he's like, lies. I'll get a message in February. I'll try and make it January-ish.
Yeah. I'm off this weekend, so then Monday my schedule is crazy again. So whatever, you got my number.
Gotcha.
All right. Let's go, Giants. Ow!
I appreciate y'all. Danny, what you got, man?
I'll keep it short and sweet, baby. I know you're gonna go. You gotta get taken down for the night, but I'm just pulling for Jameis Winston. Finally get to see him play.
Yeah.
It's gonna root behind Kafka. Hope he does good. Hope the the coaching does good. Just room for him. Hoping the best for him, and just hoping for some W's on Sunday. And yeah, so just hope for the best for Jameis. Let's go Giants. Ow! Good night, brother.
Good night, brother. Hey, get that bag. Go get
Yes,
that
sir.
bag. Hey, guys, real quick. Drew and Loops, I'd love to holler at y'all, but I ain't gonna lie. I got to piss like a racehorse. I drank too much water. And I got to get up early tomorrow. So that's a catch. That's 22, I guess. So now to real quick. Eli got snubbed. Yes, he got snubbed again this year for the NFL Hall of Fame. And it is what it is. Man gets so much hate. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Look, the new era has begun. It's just time now to, we all got what you wanted. Coaches, we got a new coach. We've got a new regime. And let's see what happens. I wish nothing but Jameis the best. And hold on. Yes, Eli is still a candidate for the. Oh shit! Hold up. Hold on. ChatGPT. Did the ChatGPT lie to me? Coaching career. Ooh, I'm doing the electric slide in this chair. 16. See, great question. Short answer: yes. Many feel Eli Manning was snubbed. Oh, for his first year eligibility. So yes, Eli is still a candidate. Okay, never trust ChatGPT unless you're using my custom. True. Well played. Thanks, Drew. You know what? Next time, I'm just gonna ask the chat. I'm not gonna look up nothing no more. I'm just gonna stick with the facts that I know, like 22 or 25. Y'all know who I'm talking about when I say that. I appreciate y'all. Keep your hands to yourself, Eli or EMAC. I'm sorry. Congrats on your new job. And I don't know if y'all heard it, but Sean O'Hare called me Sneaky G. Let's go Giants. Ow! Okay, so, see this. See, I don't. It ain't working. It ain't working. This whole. I'm gonna do it the way I do it. See, I'm trying to do new things with StreamYard, but I'm an old dog, and I just can't learn new tricks. Well, I can, but that's for another podcast. Let's go Giants. Ow!
Is this thing on?
It's your boy Stefan, a.k.a. Sneaky.
Yeah. Lyrical assassin.
Let's go Giants. Ow!
Is this thing on?
It's your boy Stefan, a.k.a. Sneaky.